Sure. My name is Joanna Ebenstein. I am the founder and creative director of an organization called Morbid Anatomy. And Morbid Anatomy, it started almost 20 years ago. It's originally the tagline was surveying the interstices of art and medicine, death and culture. But now our new tagline, which I think defines where we've moved to, is death, life, and the in-between. So we are an educational organization, but also an arts organization. We do exhibitions, we do online classes, in-person classes, lectures. We have a Patreon. We have many places where we're trying to create a sense of community and maybe a safe place, you might say, for people who want to talk about this subject that isn't so welcome in our culture, which is death. That's the central idea, but many, many other things at this point as well. But I, but I'll go way back and say, when I was a small child, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents who were Holocaust survivors. And I think that was really influential in a number of ways. First of all, they were also doctors from a European tradition. They were not squeamish about death, pain, and the body. So I grew up in an environment where those things were more open and not as taboo. Um, and I also think that growing up with beloved close family members who had gone through something like that, gone through a genocide essentially, um, means that for me, death was not as distant and others it is for many people in Western culture. So I remember even as a little kid tripping out, looking at people, adults, and thinking like, everyone here has sex and everyone is going to die, and we're all pretending that doesn't happen. So there just seemed to be this big gulf between this truth and how people presented it that intrigued me from the time I was a child. Um, and then I always did art, but I ended up studying intellectual history at college at University of Santa Cruz, University of California at Santa Cruz. And that's a really interesting major. I think the closest thing to that now would be material culture studies. So basically, we would study different time periods, but rather than reading history books, we would look at the art of the time, the costume of the time, the rites of the time, the religious expression, the art, the film, the music, as a way to understand the time period, and from our reactions to it, to understand how we were different and how we had changed. And so when I went to Europe for the first time right after college, I had this lens, and with this lens, I noticed we traveled, my father and I, in Germany and Austria and Eastern Europe. There were so many images of death, beautiful images of death. I saw jeweled skeletons, I saw paintings of martyrdoms.
Let's talk about death, baby.